team loss actually becomes a massive personal win. Well, today we're digging into one of those super rare moments where the guy on the losing team walked away the biggest winner of the night.
So that's the big question, right? How on earth can a loss actually be a win? How does a player on the losing side of a huge divisional game walk off that field as the star of the show? To get that, we've got to look past the scoreboard and dive into the high-stakes business that is professional football.
And here's the bottom line. The Green Bay Packers, yeah, they lost to their biggest rivals. But for their backup quarterback, Malik Willis, this game wasn't an ending. Oh no, it was a brand new beginning. It was a performance that probably just earned him millions of dollars and a real shot at a starting job somewhere else in the league.
Okay, so let's paint the picture here. It's late in the season, week 16. The Packers are in Chicago, staring down their oldest rivals, the Bears, in a super hostile Soldier Field. Everything is on the line. Playoff hopes, the NFC North Division title, the whole shebang.
So here's how it ended on paper. The Bears pulled off a stunner in overtime, 22-16, and just like that, they took control of the division. For Green Bay, it looked like a total disaster, a complete collapse when it mattered most.
But you know what? The real story, the one everyone was talking about after the game, wasn't really about the loss. It was about the one guy who almost single-handedly flipped the script, the guy who made a game that should have been a blowout, incredibly competitive.
And this is what makes the story so wild, the way it all went down. Willis wasn't supposed to be the hero that day. Heck, he wasn't even supposed to play. He got thrown into pretty much the worst-case scenario you could ever imagine for a backup QB.
Talk about a perfect storm of pressure, right? It's the second quarter, and bam, starter Jordan Love gets knocked out with a concussion. So all of a sudden, Willis has to run out there. He's coming in cold, in terrible weather, on the road against the team's biggest rival with the entire season hanging in the balance. I mean, the pressure just could not have been any higher. So what does he do when he gets his shot? Does he fold? Nope. He didn't just manage the game, he took it over. He didn't just survive out there, he absolutely thrived, putting on a show that had the entire league buzzing. First up, his passer rating. It was over 120. Now, to give you some context, anything over 100 is considered really, really good. For a backup getting thrown into that kind of chaos, a rating like that is just, it's elite. It means he was making smart reads and accurate throws all night long.
And it wasn't just about being efficient. No, he was a straight-up playmaker. He was responsible for 3 total touchdowns, using both his arm and his legs to beat the defense. He was the entire engine of that Packers offense.
But this might be the most impressive part of all. 0 turnovers. In those conditions, with that much pressure, the #1 rule is protect the football. And he played a clean, totally mistake-free game, which gave his team a chance to win. Just incredible.
So you add it all up, and the stat line is just, well, it's awesome. Over 120 yards passing, over 40 rushing. He had that beautiful 33-yard touchdown pass and was constantly turning what should have been disasters into positive plays. He was the offense.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. His own head coach Matt LaFleur said it himself. He praised Willis for being poised and for making plays. In the NFL, getting that kind of public praise from your coach, especially after a brutal loss, that says everything.
Okay, so a great performance is one thing, but what does it actually mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It means money. In just a couple of hours of football, Malik Willis completely changed his financial future.
Think about it. Before this game, he was just a solid, cheap backup quarterback, an insurance policy. But after this game, the whole script flipped. Now he's seen as a guy who could actually start in this league. He's a hot commodity, a valuable asset that other teams are definitely going to want.
So what kind of money are we talking about here? Well, analysts are saying that a contract worth over $5 million a year, that's now his starting point. That's not his ceiling, that's his floor. That's life-changing money, all because he stepped up in one massive moment. And there was this one anonymous NFL scout who said something that just perfectly sums it all up. He said Willis's performance made you wonder why you pay a QB $50 million. Now, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it gets right to the point. GMs around the league are now asking themselves, why should we break the bank for a star when we could get this kind of dynamic play for a fraction of the price?
You see, a game like this doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It creates these massive ripple effects that are going to impact not just Malik Willis's wallet, but the entire future of the Green Bay Packers. And this is the weird, kind of tough spot it puts Green Bay in. They did their job perfectly, right?
They developed a backup quarterback so well that now he's probably too valuable for them to even keep. That's the paradox of being great at developing players in the NFL. Your success often means you end up losing them.
I know what you're probably thinking, though. What about that last play, the botched snap that lost the game? Well, here's how the pros look at it. Scouts and GMs are trained to basically ignore one bad play. They look at the whole game, the entire body of work. They're focused on the core skills, decision-making, protecting the ball, making your teammates better. And when they look at it that way, his performance was a huge, undeniable win.
So, it all brings us back to this one big question. The scoreboard said the Packers lost, but on that field, a career was made. It really makes you wonder, in a league that is absolutely obsessed with winning, how much is one perfectly timed, perfectly seized moment of opportunity actually worth? For Malik Willis, the answer is probably millions.